Hey guys and gals, Mr.O here, and for those who may have been living under a rock or may not have played a video game at all, two of the most iconic video game villains have finally returned to death battle. I'm talking about Bowser versus Eggman. And whoo boy, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. Oh, but before I do, let me tell you this. If for one reason or another you still haven't seen it, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? It's one of the best episodes of Death Battle of all time, I would say. So I may or may not give away some spoilers. Also, it has been out for more than 2 weeks, I would say, so go watch that video before listening to my thoughts, okay? Without further ado, here I go. Holy! I will definitely say this with absolute confidence. This is the best episode of the 24th season. From start to finish. I seriously had to pause more than once to process lots of jaw-dropping moments that pierced my emotions. First things first, I usually tend to focus more on the animation. Honestly, my favorite part of Death Battle. But I did seriously try to catch as much info as possible. And for a brief moment, it had me thinking that Eggman would have this in the bag, given his universal timeline feeds, which could very well go stretch into multiversal territory. Besides that, it was funny seeing Origin Heroes animations here, but with Bowser kidnapping the princess and also little baby Eggman. Oh, and let's also not forget Luis Cruz's neat animations featuring Bowser and Eggman standing triumphantly over their adversaries with the game over text. And that's very fitting for the most iconic video game bosses. Getting to the fight itself, I can safely say that I was not disappointed in the slightest. Even before the episode came out, I had a feeling that this would be the very best episode of the season. And I was right all along. Along with so many others who felt the same way, of course. Oh, and right off the bat, I noticed a very nice reference at the beginning. What with Bowser having his wedding day with Peach, although something looked off there. Much like that scene in the movie, it was interrupted by a man clad in a mustache and red clothing. This time being Dr. Eggman, of course. Damn. Yeah, not only did Eggman whiz on the moon, but he just had to whiz on Bowser's wedding dreams. What a D-bag. Understandably pissed, the fight starts with both armies and leaders engaging in an all-out war. Super epic, seeing both Bowser and Eggman duking it out, using all their strengths, minions and allies to gain the upper hand as mayhem happens everywhere in the battlefield. You know, with Bowser kicking Eggman's tin can, and a couple of Shy Guys duking it out with Orbot and Cubot over the Phantom Ruby. Oh, funny stuff. And man, everything was on display. Everything they can do, both as individuals and as a team. Man, it was awesome. And it was boosted by the soundtrack. And boy, does it slap so hard? Been listening to it multiple times ever since it came out. If I wasn't clear before, I was betting and having more faith in Bowser and Koopa Troop winning this more times than not. And needless to say that besides that little doubt, I was right. In summary, Eggman had little to no chance against Bowser's sheer might and magical counters to everything the Empire had. And the post-analysis backed up everything that I said before in the prediction that I made for it. Oh, and from what I saw, Moro, one of the main animators, if not the main animator for this fight, was so passionate that he even included an aftermath scene. Oh, and a couple of neat alternate scenario animations. Like, how many episodes can you say had all that? All the extra stuff. I very much doubt it's gonna be featured in every episode, but for this one, it's a nice touch. So, easily my favorite episode. Oh, and here's my own soundtrack cover that I made for this episode. I like the name that I gave, but Game Over works just as well. Oh, and here's a little bonus. It's a little power-up that I cooked for this particular episode. I call it Boiled Fury. And this one allows the user to breathe fire, and not only that, but also summon a magic brush that paints anything that touches, transmuting them into machines, which can then be controlled by the user by a mental command. The only downside to this power-up is that anything that is transmuted by Boiled Fury can be countered by those who can transmute the affected objects back. Transmute them back to normal. With my piece spoken, that is all from me, Mr.O, and see you in the next world. Bye!